Recording. Hey, welcome back to Buckle Up Podcast today with Brandon Rush and my mom, Mama Rush.
Hi.
We have on today, we're going to have a guest, Travis Hales. I always consider Travis one of my oldest brothers, and he is family to us. So he's going to be coming on. He's a poet. He is a man of many talents and many things. And it was a blessing to be able to grow up with him. When I was in middle school, he was in high school, would be with us for about every weekend on our junior year, his junior year and his senior year. And so Travis has always been family, and we're happy to have him on. I also spoke about Travis at my father's funeral as well. So Travis has meant the world to us. And let's see on this thing, see how he's doing. Just, I'll pause it. Whoops. Recording. Oh, here we go. Let's see, he should be on here. There we go.
My son.
I gotta see why he's turned to the side.
Turn him straight up.
If I know how to do it, I would do it.
I know.
So I don't.
I'm dead set.
As soon as I know how to do it, I'll do it.
No, ask Travis.
Oh, okay. Travis, what's up, man? I think you gotta turn your camera. You look good.
Travis, turn it.
Yeah, can you turn? There we go. Wait, why is it doing that?
Hold on,
Okay, I gotta figure this out, Travis.
I think that's your camera.
What's that?
I think there you go. There we go.
All right, let me see if I can get this. Why is this thing being silly today? Let's see. I'm trying to get it. I want
to rotate.
Bring him. We go get that light.
Yes, ma'am. That'd be great. Travis, I want it to the side, because sometimes when you have it like to the side like that, it'll only show, it'll show you narrow, but it'll show you narrow instead of big. But I don't mind. I'm trying to get ours to do right.
Okay.
Maybe.
Son, I'm gonna be there in a minute. Let me pick this up for Brian.
Yeah,
I'll be back on in 1 moment with him.
Oh, I know what's
Does it do it now?
Lock on. This might work now, Travis. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Where'd he go? All right, hold up. Now it works. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect, Travis. Yeah, you look great, man. It's good to see my oldest bro on
What's
here.
up, bro? What's up, man? Hey.
See my son. Oh,
Yeah,
look at my son, Travis.
Hey, Miss Smith. How you doing? How you
Darling,
doing?
look at you. I'm Mama Rush now.
Mama Rush. How you doing, Mama Rush?
Look at
Yes,
Travis.
Yeah, Travis, you look great, man. We miss you a lot,
Thanks,
man.
man.
I want to hug him through this
No,
camera.
seriously, we love you a lot, Travis.
Dang, I love you guys too, man. I remember all the times that we had, growing up and stuff. So yeah, man, it's phenomenal.
Would you believe you introduced me and my dad to 5 Heartbeats? I send 5 Heartbeats clips all the time. You introduced us to that 5 Heartbeats. The movies we would do, the pizza we would get, man. We loved having you every weekend, man. Like, you truly were family. Our family. You are family.
Travis, it's been a while since I've seen you, darling. You're my baby. You're my other son. You made my children the big brother they needed.
Absolutely.
And just you being a part of our life.
Yeah.
In our lives. It just meant so much to me. And just seeing you now, I just want to tear up because I haven't seen you since high school
would it be?
High school graduation.
Yeah, since
Never been
98.
in touch. Yeah. And so Brady's gonna introduce everything.
Yeah, Travis, a couple things I want to say too. Well, first off, this is Travis Hales on. Travis, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, my name is Travis Hales, born and raised in Virginia. Went to Tucker High School, Hampton University, played football. Lived in Orlando for 17 years, working in the corporate world, and moved back here to Virginia during COVID time. So that's when I started to, reconnect with everybody, because when I was in Florida, I was just so far away. So glad to be back, man, around family and just the love and support and back in the hometown of VA, man. So
absolutely, Travis. Dude, we're so glad. So Travis was a stellar. Travis, I honestly, man, I followed in your footsteps with football. You were really my inspiration with going into doing football was because of you. I used to see how you would tear it up on the football field.
Oh, yeah.
What position did you play, Travis?
He was running back.
I played running back and outside linebacker.
I didn't know you played back. I didn't know you played outside linebacker too.
Yeah.
And I ended up being an outside linebacker.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then congratulations. I remember when Dad was alive, he was so happy when him and Mr. Drinkwater went to your Hall of Fame.
Yeah, man. It was awesome to see him there, man. And it meant the world just to see him and Drinkwater's dad, and Coach Curl was there, man.
Oh wow.
It was just awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You deserve it, man. You deserve the Hall of Fame. We're glad to have. I was glad. I was watching the video. It had me tearing up too, man.
Yeah.
Just
I wasn't even expecting it, man. I was in Orlando just working, and I forgot who got in contact with me. Oh man, I can't. I'm gonna
Coach
have
Brown.
No, it was somebody who played football with me back in the day.
Okay.
Got in contact with me. It was like, hey, Coach Brown been trying to reach you. I think you should reach out to him. So he dropped Coach Brown number. I called Coach Brown, and then that's when he told me, it was like, hey, we're inducting you into the Hall of Fame. We want you to come out. And I'm like, wow. I was
Yeah.
flabbergasted, because I never, I mean, I just played. Sports for me was a means to get away from the mad world that I was living in at the time.
Yeah.
So I didn't play for accolades. I wasn't even really trying to get in college. I didn't have a goal after that. It just was a place for me to, let loose my stress and to have fun with my friends, So the fact that I was able to go as far as I was from sports, is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Absolute blessing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Did you say? I'll talk unless you.
Yeah, you talk first, and
Okay.
then I'll start.
Travis. So you're originally from? I forgot what part of Virginia you're originally from.
Yeah, actually born and raised in Portsmouth.
Okay, Portsmouth.
Virginia. Yep, Hampton Roads area.
Okay, and then Hampton Road. They had the best football. No wonder. That's Michael Vick and all them too, isn't it? Like Michael Vick.
Yep.
What is his name? Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson. Yeah. What's his name? Julius Peppers.
Okay.
You had a lot of good Plexico Burrows.
Oh wow, that's right. That's right.
A lot of good athletes from the 757, man.
Yeah, they were always the toughest teams and the best athletes seem to come. And you're obviously one of them that came out of that area. So it's obvious why that's just a talent pool down there. So Travis, when did you come down to Richmond, I guess?
Yeah, it's
how'd you get there?
Yeah, it's a story in itself how I made it down to Richmond, because originally, as I said, I was born and raised in 757 area in Portsmouth, Norfolk, Hampton Roads, stuff like that. But my mom had got locked up for selling heroin to an undercover cop.
Oh wow.
So I ended up in the custody of the state. And I was placed in the Virginia Home for Boys. So that's how I ended up at John Randolph Tucker.
Okay.
Was because I was in the boys' home, and Tucker was a school that was zoned for that area. So
okay.
Yeah, that's how I ended up there. Yeah.
Travis, I know it was a tumultuous time that you probably went through just with all of that, but you ended up blessing so many lives, including my mom's life, including my dad's life, including my brother David's life, and then my own life, and the lives that you touched at Tucker. It's through that what happened, which is tragic, you ended up being a blessing to so many more people through that. I'm trying to get choked up myself. You ended up being a blessing to so many people, even though that terrible thing happened to you all. It ended up being a blessing for so many by you coming through that way. It's interesting sometimes how so many things relate to the Bible, but it's God meant for you to be where you ended up, and you've been such a blessing to so many people because of it.
So Travis, the 7 you keep mentioning, that territory is considered in Hampton Roads 7. What is 740? What is
757?
757.
Yeah, why did they refer to it 757?
Oh, because it's the area code of it.
Oh, that's like
yeah.
I know what you're talking about, Travis.
Yeah. So Richmond is the 804. So
yeah, exactly.
Richmond
Yeah,
is the 804.
I'm an 804 guy.
Well, Travis, when we first met you and we saw you running, it wasn't about the sports, but it's something about you that touched our hearts. And when you told us, we asked, I think maybe, where are you going this evening? You said, I have to go back to the boys' home. And the Lord told us, no way is this kid going back to boys' home on the weekend. But you made such a difference with Brandon and David being there. Oldest brother, because we took you as a part of our family. And with that, with all that happened to you, can you share with those kids that might be in foster care, boys' homes or girls' homes, and how was that experience for you? If you can share that with the 2 million followers that we have. Don't worry about what's behind this. I just want you to share that information with them. Okay.
Yeah. If I could talk to a little kid today, I would just tell them, Oh man, this is getting me choked up. You
Yeah,
know,
shoot, that got me already teared up, man. I'm over here trying to hold it.
We go.
like I would just tell them really just that everything that they need in life is within them. You know, like a seed. You know, right now you're in your seed stage. You just have to um, you have to get through the fire. It's going to be hard times. You have to get through it, and just know that you're capable. God made you capable, and everything you need is inside of you. And you got to nurture it. You know,
Absolutely.
don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Because a lot of times, like when I was young during that time, um, I mean, I was constantly afraid, yo. Like
Yeah.
nobody knew because I put on a tough exterior, but I really was just wow. I don't know why I'm breaking
It's
down.
all good,
It's all
Travis.
good. It's all good for those
Wow.
kids that hear you talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I was an afraid little boy, you know, and I didn't have anybody,
Yeah.
you know. Wow.
Mm.
It's all good, Travis. It's
Yeah.
all good, man. We cry on this show a lot, you know,
Oh
but
my goodness, man. Oh my God. Wow.
yeah. Hey, you got me over here teared up. I'm letting it go. I'm just like, you know what, man, I'm
Uh,
all right with it. They see me cry, let them see us cry because real men do cry.
Real men.
Yeah.
I love for a man of color to actually, a black man, to actually show emotions, because we have emotions. My sons have it. You have it as my son, and you put on this exterior for everybody but yourself.
Yeah.
And so it's okay. It's okay. And I just still want to go through that story of that boys' home, because there are a lot of kids now in foster care, and they're trying to see their way, his or her way out of that situation, and how you existed in it. And just keep on with the story about existence there.
Yeah, it's good. It's just been a long time since I really thought about, you know,
Yeah,
it's
that's
time.
all right.
So it's like hit me right now. But
That's okay.
but yeah, you know, so I kind of couldn't relate to the feeling. They're probably feeling lonely, probably feeling vulnerable, feel like the world is against them, feel like there's no way out, you know. Uh, and I could just tell them that there is hope on the other side, you know. As long as you cultivate and pour into yourself, and then just don't be afraid, you know. And if you are afraid, fake it till you make it. You know, that's what I did a lot of times growing up. You know, I was shaking in my boots, but you know, I had a lot of people looking at me, you know, like I was courageous. So I had to put on that courageous act. So, you know, thus for in the act of faking it, you know, I became courageous and overcoming the fears, you know. So, you know, and fear holds us back from a lot of stuff, you know. So I guess, you know, just simply put, I would tell, you know, a young person that everything that they want in their life, you know, is on the other side of their fears. You know,
Absolutely.
get through your fears, stand strong, and you're going to succeed in whatever you put your mind to in life.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Hey, man, that's some words of wisdom,
and
brother.
my son has become such a powerful force out here.
Absolutely, Travis.
So, Travis, when you met us, how did you know that that was a safe space for you?
Because I felt poured into, you know, and it wasn't something I had to go out and seek. Like you guys came to me, you know, and I recognize it as a safe space because of you, Mama Rush. You were just just a just a force of softness that I didn't have in my life, you know, that I needed at a time, like a motherly figure. You know, we had staff at the boys' home, but they, you know, they wasn't, you know, cooking home cooked meals for me. We had a chef that cooked it for the masses, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it wasn't that little bit of love that was put into it, you know, and sometimes the small stuff like that is all a kid needed at that time is that somebody, you know, we see you, you know what I'm saying, and we understand that we want to help. So that and it showed me, you know, it showed me a side of like black families that I didn't see growing up, You know, I grew up in the hood, you know, so, and where it was a lot of broken families and dysfunctional. So, you know, it was a perfect example of, you know, that, you know, how life could be for me. So seeing that example and seeing the family, I always wanted a family. So that was a blessing for me.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that makes me
Well,
feel
you're blessing us.
makes my heart feel so good. Let me tell you about that cooking. I remember the first time I made some collard greens for you, and you said, "Oh, they have a little sweet taste to them." Get that because I'm a soul cook and I cook with love. And when you said that to me, I said, "Well, how are they fixing the greens at the voiceover for him?" When you said that, it just made my heart just feel so great with you saying that, and I really appreciate that so much. But not appreciate everything about you. You and the boys would get in the room, and I said, God has blessed me with another son and Travis, and he's showing them the way. He's showing them the way. And you were just a great role model to them. And they got strong because of your ability to show them that as well, and to share their love and their brotherhood with you. It just made me feel good. And so every time we pick you up, we could hardly wait for the game would be over for you to come get in our car. Because we came to South Carolina, didn't you, with us?
I don't think I went to South Carolina.
I
Okay.
didn't know we brought you down the road to South. I don't know if we asked for you to come to South Carolina, but at any rate, you got a chance to see who we were, and
Yeah.
that was good. And I'm glad you felt this was a safe space because there are a
Absolutely.
lot of kids in homes and everything, and they don't feel safe, and they don't see anybody can influence them to do a little bit better or be better. Now, tell me one thing. So since finishing Hampton, what have you done?
Yeah.
I want to hear about that.
Yeah. So originally I went to Orlando, Florida. It was supposed to be just like a Disney trip, but I ended up like getting a job down there
Mhm.
and stayed for 17 years working for a business management consultant company.
Oh,
And that's where I was up until like COVID really. And
Okay.
they did like layoffs, let a lot of people go. Then I was just collecting unemployment.
Yeah.
mhm.
And in between then, you know, for a while I was T Guns, the rapper, you know,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
All right. Hold on
try
a
my
second.
hands all that rapping. But you know, it was a hard time for me during then, because I was trying to be somebody I wasn't, you know, during that time, you know, I grew up in the thug life, you know, but here I was, you know, in Orlando, Florida, basically working at a call center in a cubicle, you know, but I'm this rapper going by T Guns and talking about selling drugs and stuff that I'm 10, 15 years removed from.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, you know, and I started to wonder, like, why is all this negative stuff happening? Like, a lot of negative stuff would happen to me, yo. Like,
Mhm.
after shows, like, people would just hate on me for no reason, or
Oh,
you be
wow.
tough. Like, but it was the image that I was putting out, the energy that I was
Mhm.
putting out,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
And then one day, I went to what was it? I went to a poetry spot, and it was just a different pace. It was just a different love, and that's when I made this. It was around 2012.
Okay.
I made that switch to poetry from being a rapper. Um, but I've always written, so that's
Yeah.
always been something uh, uh, that got me by. You know.
Know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Travis, I know, first off, we used to watch Dragon Ball Z together. And so I knew you were an artist already, but I didn't know that about the poetry part. But you go by the Virgo poet, right? Isn't that kind of like your call thing or something?
Yeah, the Virgo poet. Yeah, that's my stage name.
What?
Yeah, I've been writing like so when I was younger, I never it was a way of me expressing my emotions, and
Okay.
a lot of it was dark, so I didn't share it, you know.
Yeah.
And really I really didn't feel comfortable sharing my stuff until like 2012.
Okay.
What?
Because I got around other people who was being vulnerable. So
Yeah.
when you're around somebody, people who being vulnerable, it kind of allows you to let your guard down a little bit,
Yeah.
So I tested the waters, did a personal poem about myself. It was received well. And then it was like a therapeutic feeling for me. It's like I felt like a release, like, so yeah, I kept going back and, here I am today, man. I've been doing poetry for like a long time, man, for a long
Yeah.
time.
Travis, can you share a piece with us? Because we
Yeah.
have an audience, and I want these young people to see you.
Yeah, man.
I want them
Yeah.
to see you today. Go ahead and share a piece with me,
Yeah.
with us.
This one is called um, A Letter to My 10-Year-Old Self. All right. And it goes, Dear little 10-year-old Travis, as a kid, I know you're feeling broke, poor, and embarrassed. Dysfunctional family, two torn apart parents. You have an addict for a mother and a coward for a father. No emotional outlet, so your rage is going to grow further. And as a kid, you're going to get picked on and often get teased. But it's okay to use that food stamp funny money and to eat government cheese. In fact, those same kids who pick and tease are eating that same government cheese. And please, pay no attention to the rumors you hear of your mother doing Lord knows what in the streets. She's just a kid too, not much older than you, and doing the best she can to make ends meet. You're going to develop an agony for your dad and a resentment for your mom. Just know it's not your fault that you're not living a good life like the other kids had. And raised by the streets, it's going to force you to grow up too fast. But take it from me, do not get discouraged because you are built to last. And 2 years from now, you're going to get your first job selling drug packages for cash. Do not take that job, Travis, because I promise it's only going to cause you more pain and probably end up the reason why your mama falls deeper into using crack cocaine. And the more you hustle, the deeper you're going to fall into the criminal abyss. And I know right now it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, but keep holding on. I promise you won't lose grip. As long as you keep God as the captain of your ship, you're going to escape tragedy every time and walk away without a limp. And there's no easy way to say, but our moms, she sells heroin to an undercover cop and gets sent upstate. And you suddenly run away, become a child of the ward and placed into the custody of the state. Placed in a place called the Virginia Home for Boys, where 6 years you're going to stay and 3 sports you're going to play. And you're going to become a Hall of Famer in all 3. Walk on to Hampton University, earn a football scholarship, and eventually a college degree. And I know all of these things may be too far off for you to see, or maybe even too much for you to believe, but I know them all to be true because you, Travis, are the younger me. And P.S., I hope me revealing the future to you doesn't significantly mess up the timeline. But for me to allow you to go through what we went through blind, that'd be a crime. I love you.
That was beautiful. Yeah, man.
Have chills, Travis.
That was absolutely beautiful, Travis.
Fabulous.
Absolutely beautiful.
I look to God for what you are. And that has touched Mama Rush's heart. Okay.
Yeah, Travis.
Lord have mercy.
I didn't expect to tear up this much today, but Travis, that was absolutely beautiful. How it was beautiful. I can't even put words on it, but it's your own story written. It's your written word, and it's your story, which is so beautiful. You've performed it so beautifully because it comes from the heart and it comes from your truth. And I think that's you're an amazing performer, amazing artist who puts the truth into each of their performances as well.
Young people out there, you hear Travis. Travis has given you, looking back at himself. It has touched me as Mama Rush, and I want it to touch your heart. Listen to his stories, because he will have many. This is just a few that he's just given us. And so, young people out there, listen to his story. No matter what condition or state you might be in right now, he is sharing with you a deep part of his heart, and it's a deep part of my life as he being another son of mine. And so God touches your life, young people. And I'm talking to the young people. I'm talking to you, Travis, because you continue to make a difference. And your poems are just a little piece of God's heart that he shares with each one of us every day. And we must understand that. And I am so proud of you. So very proud of you, where you have come from. Never knew the true story. Always knew that you impacted our lives in the West End of Virginia, Henrico County. And so with that, Travis, I want to ask you one thing. So did you get married? Do you have children? And tell us a little bit about that, because Mama Rush wants to hear that part too.
Yeah. Actually, I did. I recently got married in October of last year, actually.
Okay.
I don't have biological kids, but her kids, they're my kids, you know, they're our kids. So I have an 11-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old son.
Oh, wow.
Oh, great.
They have like the best, they have the best dad of you, I can tell already.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm still learning, you know, it's still all new to me, you know, but I'm down for the challenge, you know, and I'm eager to be a dad, because that's something I never had. So, you know, and they're good kids. They're absolutely amazing kids. So I'm lucky, you know.
I know you are, and I want you to continue that story. I don't want to cut you off with that, but I heard something from a young man the other day. Said, well, I don't know if I'll marry somebody who has kids already, but you did, because you fell in love, and her kids have become your life as well. And that's really something special, Travis. I look at you in so many ways, but to take her kids, and when you told us today that you were going to pick her up, and that we didn't want to rush your story. We wanted to hear it all the way through, and your daughter and your son, that's just amazing. And I'm so pleased that you're showing that father figure for some other kids. And that means that something is resonating right about now. And so that makes me happy.
Yeah,
absolutely. It was an honor for me, you know. And I didn't go out seeking a woman with kids. It just happened. And truthfully, I'm a product of a woman who has 2 kids in similar situation. You know, that was my mom, you know, and I see a lot of qualities in my mom and her. So she holds the mirror up to me, which is important, you know. Help me see reflections of things, parts of myself that I ignore or can't see, you know, and that's always good to have in a partner or in a person, you know.
Absolutely. Travis, one thing, sorry, Travis, one thing I wanted to bring up, especially you and I as men of color who've been through something, I'm going to tell the story now for the first time. But when we were, I don't know I can't think of the word is right now, but when we went into Blockbuster and we were, not stereotyped or racially profiled. We were racially profiled by the people at Blockbuster. We walked in there. We were kids just having a good time. We had ordered pizza and we were going to rent a movie, which is what we did every single weekend. And so we went there, and I just remember everybody was looking at us, and we were the only kids. We were the only kids of color that were we were the only black kids that were in that store, and everybody was looking at us. And then I remember when we went to go check out, I remember seeing a police officer at the front door.
Yeah.
And I kind of like, you know, I was 14 years old at the time. 14, maybe actually I was 13 at the time. And because, you know, Dave and you would be the ones driving, and I always tag along. And I remember kind of just trying to wave at the officer, and he looked all serious. But when we started to walk out, he walked out with us. And that officer said, "Hey, excuse me, fellas, can I, or you, whatever, I can't remember the words you used," but he said, and he wasn't bad. That cop was actually a good guy.
Yeah, he was
a Caucasian officer. He was a great police officer. He was a
white officer.
He was a white officer, and he said, "Hey, kids, can I just ask you guys a question? Were you guys in here earlier today?" And I said, we said, no, sir. We're actually just coming. We have our pizza in the car, and we were just going to get some movies to pick up. He said, okay, thank you so much. He just asked that. And at the time, that stuck out to me because I'm like, hold on a second here. So I remember I called Dad and I called Mom, And I heard, you know how dad was. Yeah.
Oh,
He was a
yeah.
bulldog about his kids, and so was mom a bulldog.
Oh, yeah.
Put
Mama
a
Russia ain't
pure
play. Mama
pit bull.
Russia ain't play about her kids.
Yeah,
Her
no,
babies.
they both were. And so I think we started the drive with, they were like, yo, stay right there at that Blockbuster. And mom and dad came, they tore that place up. And in a good way.
Yeah, we went in there recognizing that why would you single out our children of color when you have all these white kids that might be stealing?
Yeah.
But you chose our children to make an example of how you felt in Blockbuster at the time. Oh, they did pay the price for that. But the problem, and that's why they're out of business to this day. Not only they paid the price, but out of business. But you would single out 3 young Black men in this store, some workers behind there, probably in high school, and probably indoctrinated to think people of color will steal or whatever indoctrination they gave them, but they indoctrinated their children the wrong way, and Blockbuster paid the price. But with that said, you all understood that we as your parents would not take this mess off of this mess. And that from that day, you all walked away knowing that we as parents, standing for great men, that we were going to make change society as you continue to change society now, that we weren't going to stand for it. And that's why I want young people to understand that children of color, I don't care what you've been taught, you go in there and you learn your friends. You learn the people. If you work for a store, say, wait a minute, let's hold up on this. And so to this day, that still touches me, because when Brandon called, my husband could hardly get out the door. With me, I was running, trying to throw on a jacket or whatever, because he was going up there and he was going to get some people straight. And I'm glad my brother, as an attorney, got them straight in the final end of business. And that's what happens when you decide in your life you're going to pick children of color and you're going to think that you're going to mistreat them. Not the Smith children, not the Hall children, and
not the Hales children.
Not the Hales children either. And so you all learned how to be strong men through just that little situation, because we never wanted you all to be exposed to that crazy. And that's really crazy. The ugliness of hearts of people, when it's not, that should be that way. When God made every kid, he made every color. And so we decided not to make this a political
that's what needs to be said.
thing.
I want to,
but this is something we wanted to make sure that all the listeners understand. When you see us, you think, oh, they never experienced that kind of racism. Every day. No matter how much we have excelled in life, how much you have excelled in life, being so talented, such a poet, and my son acting, such a great actor, experiencing this kind of ugliness every day. And we're talking about 2025. It just has a different look to it. But the one thing I always say, the Bible always speaks, there's nothing new under the sun. It's just treated a different way, but in a different time period. So I'm glad Brandon did bring that.
I didn't know. A little bit more I want to touch on.
Yeah, but I'm gonna let him go ahead and finish touching on that, and then we'll hear from you, Travis.
Travis, what they ended up saying was, I remember when they got back to him, because I remember Dad telling me, I'm not sure if Mom remembers or not, but my memory's pretty good, was they said that the excuse they made that it was 3 other Black kids had come in there that day and stolen. Only difference, no, they said it was 3 other Black. They said it was us. That we were the 3 other Black kids that came in there earlier that day. Only difference was we had changed clothes, and we had never been in that store that day. We always paid for everything. And if we were stolen something, why would we be checking out to pay for that? So it's go ahead. Sorry about that.
That makes no sense. I thought they like pat us down or something. I thought they
know
like,
they didn't put your head down.
They did. For some reason, I remember them like patting us down or something.
Glad you didn't tell Mr. Smith that, because I don't think we've been walking out there.
Yeah, they might not have. They might not have. They may have been a different. They may have been a different incident.
Absolutely.
I just thought.
The only other thing I'm going to say about one of those lines, like, Travis has said, as Black men, and because we have bigger builds, that we constantly, from the moment we walk out of our apartments, we have something we do have to worry about. I know that my parents always raised me, the minute They'd had an uncomfortable conversation with me the minute I turned 16. They said, Brandon, if a police officer ever pulls you over, you keep your hands on the wheel and you say, hey, if you reach for your wallet or whatever, just tell them every single thing, because there's been so many instances of people of color, especially black men and black women, that have things have happened to them because they were following commands, but they weren't following the right way. So the reason I wanted to mention that was just because of how we were racially profiled and how these are things that we think about every day, but people don't realize that we have to think about that every day because we keep it quiet. We keep on pushing and we survive as we always have.
With that said, Travis, I have to share another story with you. My brother is an attorney in Houston, Texas, and he was over all the police force. He was the state attorney. He was the city attorney of Houston, Texas. I tried to remember his title. And he said he was driving his sports car in Houston. And the day police officers stopped him, he said he put his hands, now he's their boss. They didn't know it. They stopped him because he was driving a sports car. They stopped him. He put his hands on the steering wheel and he waited for them to come up and ask him for his ID. He waited with his hands on the steering wheel, knowing he's their boss. And he put his hands on the steering wheel and he said when they pulled his license, he said he politely handed it to him because a dead man can't talk.
Yeah,
and can't tell you I've been your boss. I am your boss. So with that said, he put his hands on steering wheel. Thank you, and he said that I had put my hands up, and so like Black Power. Anyway, I put my hands up. And so we have to laugh about that. I guess Black Power is here. But anyway, he handed his wallet to them, and they said, "This is our boss. We have stopped our boss." And he did that because he wanted to teach them a lesson that he will be a gentleman. He will act as if they don't know him because it can happen to another man of color. But once they realized who he was, then that gave him the opportunity to go back and start teaching the police force in Houston, Texas, how to behave when they stop a person of color. And they just happened to stop their boss that day. And you see why I'm saying whatever happened to you all, it has molded you to always be aware. I don't care who you are. People of color will always be stopped. We'll always have to go through the ugliness of mankind and try to teach them at the end of the day that that's not what it's about. It's about loving mankind. And so with your stories and my brother's stories, I learn every day what you all have to go through. And I, as a Black woman, I go through certain things as well. I'm very outspoken. And so I usually will do my being this way in a boardroom, sitting at their tables, and then I'll look at them and we have a major conversation. That way they recognize the talent I have and the talent I bring to them and the money they can make by being civil. All right. So that's that.
Yeah, Travis, and by the way, anyone out there, I'm not police bashing or anything like that. Some of my best friends are in law enforcement. Yeah. One of my, he's like a brother to me. He's an amazing man. His name is Jim Clemente. Jim Clemente is a retired FBI agent, and Bobby Chacon as well. I become close with Bobby. He's also a retired FBI agent. They have some cool stories. Jim is family to me, and he asked me to do, the FBI came, a lot of his people still active in the FBI. I went and did an infomercial for them. So we did this infomercial for the whole entire FBI, to the point where they gave me these special FBI coins, which I don't know where they are, but I have an open invitation to go. I believe it's in Quantico. I have an open invitation to go to the FBI and them show me around, which is amazing. And I've always thought that that's because of Jim and because of, Jim and his connections, but it was just amazing to be able to work for them. So I just want to mention that too for anybody out there.
So Travis, how is your job coming? Do you like the job? Do you like the work you're doing? Do you still do poetry at some events at night?
Yeah. Actually right now I work in insurance, selling property and casualty insurance for Geico. My wife, I should say, I'm still newlywed status. But my wife, she's IT for the city of Portsmouth, like the libraries and stuff. Still do poetry, still write. I haven't been as active as I would like because, just, getting adjusted to, being married and kids, and but yeah, I just did a book fair at the end of March.
Okay.
Oh,
Which
great.
Who got a chance to perform. I haven't performed in a while before then. Uh, but it's funny y'all brought up
The Blockbuster story.
yeah, the Blockbuster story. Because, and I only say that because like I bought my books, so I hope y'all don't mind me.
Oh
Like,
yeah, show it.
uh,
Travis, bring it closer in.
yeah. So this is volume 2 right here. So I got 6 books under my belt so far.
Show us. Do you have them with you? Yeah. So Travis,
Yes.
move them as close as you can to the camera so that we
can see.
Yeah.
Oh, Travis.
And then back it up a little bit too, Travis.
And Travis, tell us how we can purchase those books.
Yeah.
How the fan base out here can purchase the
Yeah.
books.
So
We got it, Travis. You're good.
You're good.
You can get them on
Show them all that you have.
you can get them on either on my webpage at thevirgopoet.com,
Okay.
or you can order them on Amazon. Just search up the Virgo Poet or my government, Travis Hales. You'll be able to find the books. But I have 4.
Yes, let's see all of them, Travis. Yeah.
But look at you.
It's called Pieces of Me. My Psalms to Youth. Is that what that is, Travis?
To Yah, my songs to Yah.
Oh, to Yah. Now who's Yah? Who would that be?
Yahweh. That's,
Oh, Yahweh.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so and actually it's funny, this is like my most prized, I don't want to say prize, but I spent the most time on this one.
Okay.
A lot of my poems, they just come to me and I just write them down. So all of these 6 books are poems that I took from thousands of poems that I've written over the years and like kind of mashing them together.
Okay.
This one right here was a specific creative process where I sat down and it just hit me like, you know what, I'm going to write my own book of Psalms like King David.
Yes.
Oh,
I
wow.
want a book that's
Yes.
dedicated, to Yahweh or God as we know him. And what I did was I compared the creator to the 4 elements, the 4 natural elements. So earth, water, wind, and fire. So there's 4 sections, and in each element section, all of the poems, and in it, I explore different forms of poetry as well. So you got haikus, you got sonnets, you got ballads, you got limericks, you got couplets, you got just over 20 different poem styles, and they're all giving praise to God. In the air section, all of them are comparing him to air. And different poems comparing God to air, like we breathe him in and he gives us life, he sustains us, the wind beneath our wings, so to say, and then the fire section. So I spent the most time on this one because I created it from the ground up rather than taking bits and pieces and putting them together.
Absolutely.
And this one right here is one of my favorites as well. This is Pieces of Me, Volume 2. This was my second book, and it's called Black Lives Matter 2. And I wrote it kind of like in a response because during the whole Black Lives Matter movement, I was in Orlando, Florida when Trayvon Martin got shot. That's where I was living at. And Sanford, he got shot in Sanford, which is about a 45-minute drive away from Orlando, Florida. But they started doing marches and protests. And I went to my first ever march. It probably was like 3,000 people. And ever since then, I wouldn't say I've been woke because, I've always been, hip to, what time it is, especially when it comes, because you got to understand, like, I was a rough around the edges growing up. So, and I was a little bit swole. So I knew when they saw me, they instantly saw Thug.
Yeah.
Because that was it. And the crazy part about it was, is a defense mechanism for a lot of us, because growing up in the projects, if you display any ounce of weakness, you're going to get preyed upon by the people who are tough there. So you got a lot of people who are nerds or into like Pokemon and like, you know, non-gangster
Brilliant.
stuff in the
Mhm.
hood. However, you got to walk around with a mean mug or a chip on your shoulder just so you don't get picked on and get picked with. So
Yeah.
for a lot of people, it's kind of a defense mechanism. But to the outside world, that can be taken as you're angry at the world, or you're mad, or you're a thug, you're a gangster, you know. So, but yeah, man. I
Instead
don't
of
get
you're
off.
outstanding, you're extraordinary, you're exceptional.
Yeah,
That's the terms they don't want to use with people of color, but that's what we are.
yeah,
Exceptional,
absolutely,
outstanding. And
absolutely.
we share with all the best that God has put in us to share with the world. I love your dreads. I want to
Yeah.
tell you,
Thanks.
I love that dress. Did you see Khalid when he was on?
Yeah.
He's the
Khalid,
artist now. Do you
yeah,
see Khalid's
yeah,
work?
yeah. Oh yeah, I bought some of Khalid's blocks,
Oh, okay.
like the little mini blocks that he got. Yeah, I
Yeah.
bought some of them, man, and it's funny because Khalid has always walked to the beat of his own drum, yo.
Yeah.
That's one thing I respect about him. And I tell him this, like I've told him this, like it was amazing because even as a kid, we picked on Khalid a lot because he was just like weird. Like, no, like I don't want to say weird, but we thought he was weird.
Yeah.
Really, he was just ahead of his time. And when we was insecure boys, like
Yeah.
trying to fit in,
Mhm.
he did what he wanted to do and stuck to his guns regardless of us like picking and making fun of. It was like just little stuff like, you know, curl your pants leg up like Huckleberry Finn. And you know, and wear like hemp necklaces. You know, we all, you know, we like thugs and want to be gangsters and stuff, and like you walking around with a hemp necklace. So but he did his thing, yo, and
Yeah.
and as a man today, I kind of respect that. It makes me respect him even more because
Mhm.
he's always been authentically himself from
Absolutely.
day one, yo, and look at him now, man.
Yeah.
I
It's
love it.
often, yeah.
I love who he is, and I love who you are. You all are the best of us. You're the talent. You're sharing and showing up and showing out what God has put in you. I had a sister who's very similar. She was a musician, very ahead of her time. She skipped 2 grades and everything. Her name was Benzina, Benny and the Jets, and that song Benny and the Jets, Elton John, she played backup for him, and well as Isaac Hayes. I met him. He came out. I went to one of his shows, and he came out and he had on this next, hey, Carolyn, and she played backup for him. And so she traveled the world. She was different from the rest of the kids in South Carolina. Just brilliant musician, always outside of the norm.
Mhm.
Just a brilliant girl. And so when you hear that song, Benny and Jets, Elton John wrote that song about my sister Benzina because she was a stewardess for TWA, but she went to Carolina at 15 years of age. And they tried to keep her out of Carolina, but wanted this white doctor to not pass her physical because she had asthma. He said, no way. That's why I said everybody is not where you think they are. This doctor said, no way. We will let her get into Carolina at 15 years of age because she skipped so many grades. But she went all the way through her senior year with all the racism, all that, except she was in the AP classes of college, whatever that is. But with that said, her senior year, she decided that she wanted to be a musician. She left her senior year at University of South Carolina. And then she started flying, being a stewardess for TWA. And on the plane going to London, back and forth, she met Elton John. And I just wanted to tell a story because I'm looking at you all being the talents that you all are. And he said, Benny, I'm going to write a song about you because she was a stewardess. And so he said, I'm going to name the song Benny and the Jets. And that's why they love that song to this day, is because Benzina was a backup player for Elton. They lived in their own world together, and as well as all the musicians she played backup for, as far as I was thinking about Isaac Hayes as well. So when I see you all, I get so happy because God has put you in this earth to make a difference, Brandon, and you all are doing that. And so I just wanted to share her story because I never want to leave out her story about being that unique talent born in South Carolina, but had a bigger dream than just this little state of South Carolina.
Absolutely. Travis, did you have a did you want to read one of the poems from that the fire book? The one that you put the passion in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Let's see here.
And you're good. And Travis, I want to let you know this is because this is actually our TV show. You're gonna be back often as well.
Okay.
So you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And here's a kicker. My wife is a dope poet and writer as well. That's how
We'd love to have her on.
That's exactly how we met. So
Oh, great.
We'd love to have her on if she wants to come on sometime.
Okay.
I think sharing poetry is a wonderful thing for the followers. Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. So this one is called Ebb and Flow.
Okay.
And all right. And it's under the water. It's under the water section.
Okay.
In the beginning, when the world was anew and all was chaos and confusion too, there came a force that moved across the deep, a present that would shape the world and keep. This force was like water, pure and bright, a current that would flow both day and night, a fluid essence that would ebb and flow and bring to life that all it touched below. And so it was that Yahweh began to move across the waters vast and deep and prove that life was more than just a simple thing, but rather it was part of Yah's great spring. For in the water's flow, there lay a force that moved all life with passion and course, a power that would cleanse the soul and heal and bring a light to the mysteries we all feel. And so it was that Yah became the stream, the river that would flow and reign supreme, a force of nature that would move and sway and bring to life the hope of every day. From mountain tops to valleys deep and wide, Yah's water flowed and brought a gentle tide that cleansed and nurtured all it would see and brought to life a world of mystery. And so it was that Yah became the rain, the droplets falling from the sky in vain, a gift of life that quenched the thirst of all and brought to light the wonders of the call. For in the water's flow there lay a sign of Yah's eternal love, both pure and divine, a force of nature that would never fade and bring to life the hope of every shade. And so it is that Yah is like the water, ever moving, pure and filled with wonder, a force that shapes the world and brings it light and fills our souls with grace both day and night.
Amen. Oh. Bravo, Travis. These are absolutely beautiful.
And Travis, that's the first volume. Is that correct?
Yeah, this volume 3. This is the
volume
third.
3. And volume 1, did we get that?
Yeah, let's make sure we get a poem from. Travis, I'm gonna have you do a couple of poems because I have some people in movie business on here. I want to make sure that I get a chance to showcase you, brother.
Okay.
Okay. Volume 1.
So that was volume 3.
Okay.
I'll do one from volume 2.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Is Pieces of Me, volume 2, Black Lives Matter 2.
Okay.
All right, let's see here. All right, and this is called I Am Somebody. I am somebody, yet my voice gets drowned out by your biases. My life matters and my feelings are relevant. History is his story, benefiting the one who's telling it. But it often seems that in his story, people like me are irrelevant. In fact, in some cases, it's as if we don't even exist. Evil, angry, and devilish, that's the propaganda that gets strategically dispensed, painting us minorities as subhuman pieces of shh. So much so to the point that now they're okay with seeing us getting shot by a cop when we didn't even resist. And centuries of program have trained us to be passive. But sometimes lack of action is related to compliance. I mean, how many more of us have to die because of your silence? I am somebody. I could be your kid. My life is precious like you. Don't I deserve to live? Does it really matter that every day I feel a little bit unokay just to make you feel okay? Be a little bit more docile and enunciate the words I say? Does it matter that I went to school, graduated, played sports, and got good grades, followed all the rules and did things the right way, and then bang, the right place on the wrong day? Shot by a cop because my long braids and dark shade rubbed in the wrong way. Then the media turns around, paints me the thug because I got suspended in school in the 3rd grade for one day. Order in the court because a cop just shot a man that got away with it, closed case. And is this the justice system in which we supposed to hold faith? I say no way, because I am somebody. I'm a person just like you. Can you look at me and tell me I'm not?
Oh,
Powerful.
powerful. Oh,
Powerful.
whoa,
I got goosebumps, Travis, if you can see him.
whoa,
I got goosebumps.
whoa.
Powerful.
Sure.
Everything.
Yeah.
Travis, you are a force of nature.
You are.
God has blessed you with so many gifts, which is why I wanted you to, when I was thinking about having people on, I'm like, when I thought got Cleed, I'm like, it was Cleed and Travis. I wrote you both at the same time. I'm like, I have to get Cleed. I have to get Travis. Because I knew that I see what you do. I see you, brother, too, first off. And I have so much love for you. And then just you being here today, you've always been a powerful force in my life. I always love you. I always say that I have an oldest brother, and his name's Travis Hales. I say that all the time. And the poems that you've done are absolutely beautiful. And I can't wait for you to be able to share more of them with us, for sure.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I just said, I'm going to have you back. You can come on anytime, man. Just be like, hey, B, I got to drop. Yeah, just dropping poems. And I'll be able to post it on my, because we have 2.6 million people looking right now in 7, and then in 7 countries. And then we have the
That's
population.
awesome, bro. That is awesome, man.
Thank you, brother. It's ages 13 all the way to ages 54 that are tuning in.
Travis, when you see Brandon on TV, what do you think?
Man, I be thinking, you know what? I be thinking like, because when you was little, you was chubby, man. You was so chunky when you was little.
Yeah,
so I'm always, man. And I be seeing him now. He all swole. I'm like, look at little chunky Brandon. Like, you know, like, look at little Brandon out here. Like, yo, it's awesome, man.
But you're the hero.
But you never knew Brandon could act, but he could as a little kid. And I always admired that he could read people, as I can too. But he would have this way about him. And I always thought, as you being his big brother, what you see and what you saw when you would come to the house and he would do things. But on TV now, seeing where he is.
That's it. It warms my heart because Brandon always Brandon and Davey used to go at it sometimes, man. Hey, and Brandon Brandon wasn't no slouch, yo. Brandon was, even though Brandon was, David was like 2 feet taller than him at the time, you know. Brandon was not no slouch, man. He would jump on him like what do you call it, a Tasmanian devil. Yo, he wasn't playing.
He's making me laugh at
David.
I know that's right.
But like to see him on TV is just amazing because like you say, you know, when after I graduated from Tucker, I went to Hampton. Then from Hampton, I went to Florida. It's like we fell out of touch.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, you know, you were still the chubby kid, but to see you grow up and, you know, but the man that you become and all the things that you've accomplished, man, and then to see you on TV, hustling and grinding, you know, like as a poet, I know like the grind that it takes to like to be heard and to be seen, man. Like, so I understand the sacrifices that you're putting in, man, and the time that you're putting in the grind, bro. So to see you landing these gigs and having success, man, it's just a testament to hard work does pay off, man. So keep doing your thing, man, and you're an inspiration as well, bro. So
thank you so much, Travis. I love you, man.
Travis, we love you so much. And it's so to see my son grow into the man, the poet that you are, the family man that you are, and all. And hopefully, how's your mom? Do you still have touch with her?
She's doing good. She's actually in California. My mom lives in Los Angeles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And how's your sister too?
My sister's good. She just had baby number 4.
Okay, awesome.
She turned a year yesterday. We was at her year birthday party.
Okay, awesome, man.
She's in Portsmouth, so
okay. And then, sorry, did you want to say?
No. Okay. I just am so proud of Travis, and my heart is just full. My heart is full as your mom. Mama Rush, but seeing you grow up in my home and just always being so respectful to me. And your stories, your struggles and all. Mama Rush is happy today. I want you to know you have made my day. And so I want you to know that. And though we haven't talked in a period of time, God never lets time be the space between us. Okay. He makes us closer once we start to get back together. Say, you haven't missed a beat. You're just here at this particular time. So thank you for being a great son. And I will continue to keep up with you and your children and your wife now.
Travis, there's a few things I would say before Mom closes it down. One was, I want to say that I speak for Dad. And Dad loved you so much, and he spoke about you all the time. He told me about how proud he was whenever he went to your induction ceremony. Into first of all, he was proud of you when when you guys went to Hampton. He was proud of you all when you went to I spent the most time with Dad out of anybody. He was proud of you whenever you got inducted into the Tucker Hall of Fame. My dad loved you. He was so happy to show me those pictures of you and everything at the induction ceremony. He was smiling ear to ear, but he would always talk about you. So because he can't be here today, I speak for my father, if anyone does, and how much he loved you, how much respect he had for you. And he never stopped talking about you from the time you graduated Tucker till the day he died. So I wanted to let you know how much Dad loved you.
He'll be proud today to see what I'm seeing and see and to witness what I'm witnessing. And so, you all right, Brent?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
But then also, Travis, don't stop the grind with the poetry. I've been in 77 TV shows and movies. I'm the only one that knows that struggle that I have been through. I don't speak about it out loud. My mom never knew about it. My dad never knew about it, but me and God knew about it, and I got through that. And so I want to tell you, keep grinding, man. Now that God has given me this platform that is huge, and because of those 77 TV shows and movies that I've been in, I'm putting all my people on because now we have that voice, we have a microphone, we have this podcast that I'm able to showcase all these incredible people that have helped me become who I am today. And so that's why I'm glad you're here.
And you just been a spotlight today.
Yeah, man, you really have with your poem. Go ahead, shout your bad self in the poems.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you giving this opportunity, man, and giving me the platform, you know.
Absolutely. Anytime. I'll get everything to you. It'll take me about 48 hours probably, but I'll have everything to you. And it'll be on my Instagram too.
And he's on every platform. So we're getting ready to do what, Brandon, what we normally do.
Oh, yeah, we got to clap for you, Cal.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, oh my gosh.
I love you so much.
I love you too, brother.
Love you guys too, man.
Mama Rush, thank you.
Absolutely. And then Travis, anytime you can reach out to me, hey, B, you know, I think you'll be on it. Just let me know. Seriously, you have my numbers and all.
Okay. Excellent.
And we want to make sure we get the Amazon. We want to make sure we have the books, all the titles of the books.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll send that to you.
We need that so Brandon can run that through so people will know where to order and what books they're interested in. And they can go ahead and start buying those books. I think this is something that young people need to hear your poetry. People of all colors need to hear your poetry. And I think those books will be a great thing for them at this time, especially at this time, to start reading. Okay?
All right. Well, we love you, Travis, man. Thank you so much. Give your family the best. And I said, if your wife wants to come on, just let me know.
Okay, I will. All right, now.
All right, Travis.
All right, now.
Thanks, brother. You killed it today. You killed it.
Thank you. All right, bye now.
Bye-bye. I love him so.
Yeah, I do too.
He's so sweet.